One West Virginia University fraternity is in trouble with the law after a freshman's death. And Japan culture comes to Mississippi State's campus. Those stories and moments, you're watching Take 30 News.
Keeping our state informed. Broadcasting from the home of the Bulldogs. Now, from the University Television Studios of Mississippi State University, this is Take 30 News.
Mississippi State was defeated by the Alabama Crimson Tide that Saturday, and we have fans' reactions. I'm Nikki Ariana.
And I'm Naya Short. We'll have these reactions coming up, but first, police need your help locating suspects involved in a Tupelo tire theft. This is Take 30's top story. A $2,500 reward is up for grabs for whoever can lead a Tupelo business to the thieves behind last week's robbery. Authorities say between last Monday night and Tuesday morning, large truck tires along with an 18-wheeler and trailer was taken from Southern Tire Mart off of Air Park Road. Store managers say the stolen tires were behind the building. The thieves also broke into the truck and disabled the GPS. Store managers say they have secured their inventory because of this. If you have any information, contact the Tupelo police.
One Starkville man has been sentenced to 40 years in prison after being convicted of murder. 22-year-old Dennis Thompson was sentenced on October 31st in Oktibbeha Circuit Court. Thompson's conviction comes after shooting 25-year-old Curtis Randall back in May 2010 after an altercation at a graduation party. Thompson also injured 3 others during the same incident. Thompson was also charged for shooting back in November 2012 after leaving 1 man injured at Starkville Trailer Park. Thompson will serve the 5 years assault charges consecutively with his 30-year sentence.
The Starkville Board of Aldermen is putting a stop to pets in public cemeteries. Last Tuesday, the board placed a short-term ban on pets in Starkville cemeteries after hearing numerous complaints of dogs relieving themselves on graves and headstones. The board voted 6-1 with Alderman Jason Walker opposing the ordinance. Markers stating the ban will soon be on display at Starkville cemeteries.
Morgantown police are continuing to look for the answers after a West Virginia freshman died after attending a Greek party on campus. 18-year-old Nolan Michael Birch was found unconscious when police arrived at the scene at the Kappa Sigma house last Wednesday night. Police say that a bystander was giving Birch CPR until medical help arrived. Birch was immediately transported to Ruby Memorial Hospital in Morgantown, where he stayed in critical condition until his death. Kappa Sigma's charter has been revoked at least until the end of the semester. Another WVU fraternity was also suspended a few weeks prior after 19 underage pledges were found intoxicated during a late-night disturbance.
Family and friends are mourning the loss of a Minnesota hockey player who collapsed while playing in the game. Last Friday night, 14-year-old Patrick Schoonover collapsed on the ice while playing in a hockey tournament for the Eastview Bantam against Wayne-Taza. CPR was performed on Schoonover by emergency responders. Schoonover was then rushed to St. Joseph Medical Center while doctors could not revive him. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Schoonover's body was sent for an autopsy to examine the cause of death. The hockey community continued to show their support and condolences during this tragic time.
Doctors are still trying to figure out how a Polish woman came back to life 11 hours after she was pronounced dead. According to the doctors, Janina Kolkowitz, who is 91 years old, stopped breathing on November the 6th. The family called 911 and paramedics say Kolkowitz showed no signs of life, such as having reflexes or signs of breathing. She was then sent to the funeral home where her body was placed in a fridge where she woke up. Authorities say they are still investigating the situation. Kolkowitz is doing fine, but she is being checked to make sure doctors didn't expose her to dangerous elements while she was in the morgue.
One fast food chain is saying no to genetically modified potatoes. McDonald's recently disapproved of U.S. Department of Agriculture's decision on J.R. Simplot company to begin planting the innate potatoes. The altered potatoes resist bruising and produce less acrylamide, which can cause cancer in living cells. The Idaho-based potato company is McDonald's longest-standing customer. Despite their long-time relationship, the customer said, quote, "McDonald's USA does not source GMO potatoes, nor do we have current plans to change our sourcing practices," end quote. This is the second time McDonald's has said no to genetically modified potatoes. The first time was back in 2004 when Monsanto used bug-resistant potatoes. Coming up, fans are speaking out about Alabama's win over the Bulldogs. Zakia Good will have their reactions in sports right here on Take 30 News.
Based on recent survey, Mississippi is ranked third as worst state when it comes to littering. It is up to you to make a difference.
Seriously, the trash can's right there. How do you miss that anyway?
Do what's right and help prevent littering. Keep Mississippi clean and pick it up.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere.
All of the lights.
You're watching Take 30 News on MSTV 98. Stay tuned for sports coming up next.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Naya Short. Joining us, Zakia Good. Zakia, tell us about the game this weekend.
Yes, this Saturday we had a lot of ups and downs, but I will let you know more coming up on Take 30 Sports. The biggest games this weekend in college football was the battle against the Mississippi State Bulldogs and Alabama Crimson Tide. The defeat of the #1 ranked team in the country will definitely change the college rankings and playoff standings. The final score of 25-20 was due to a late comeback by the Bulldogs in the fourth quarter. However, many early mistakes were made by the Bulldogs, and the Crimson Tide executed every opportunity. We caught up with some fans to get their reactions on the final score.
So excited. I can't wait to go brag to my boss. Roll Tide.
I knew it was going to be a close one. I was thinking we were going to be able to pull it out, but Hail State anyway.
There is a new #1 team this week in the college polls, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs are now ranked #4. This weekend, the Southeastern Conference received many surprising losses for the 2014 basketball season opener weekend. The most shocking was the defeat of the Ole Miss Rebels by the Charleston Southern Buccaneers on a buzzer beater that topped the score of 66-65. The SEC witnessed a total of 4 opening night losses by Ole Miss, Missouri, Georgia, and Tennessee to 4 non-SEC teams. This was definitely not the ideal start for a dominant conference such as the SEC. On Saturday, a matchup between #11 Nebraska and #22 Wisconsin put 2 of the nation's top running backs against each other, Amir Abdullah and Melvin Gordon. Gordon ended up breaking the NCAA college record for rushing yards, which was previously held by LaDainian Tomlinson. The Wisconsin star rushed up 408 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Badgers defeated the Cornhuskers 59-24. After learning that he broke the record, Gordon humbly stated, quote, "I didn't even know I was close to the record. I was king of just running away," end quote. 2 weeks ago, former MVP Jose Canseco, who played for Oakland Athletics for 17 years, was said to have accidentally shot his hand off, rumors stating that he shot his finger. Last Friday, it was confirmed when his finger fell off during a poker tournament. The doctors attempted to reattach the finger, but it did not have a connected bone. After the finger fell off, Canseco tweeted, quote, "I put my finger in the freezer. Anyone want finger appetizer or is it finger snacks?" End quote. There has been no word if they will attempt to reattach the finger again. The University of Florida's head football coach, Will Muschamp, will be stepping down from his position at the end of the Gators season. Saturday night, the Gators lost to South Carolina in overtime, 23-20. 2 weeks ago, they defeated the number 2 Georgia, but it wasn't enough to secure Muschamp's job. Last season, the Gators lost 8 of their starters due to season-ending injuries, making it the first losing season for them since 1979. In Muschamp's career, his overall record is 27-20, and in SEC play, he is 17-15. Well, that's your look at Take 30 Sports, but stay tuned. After the break, Kelsey Jones sits down with a Christian artist. Stay tuned. You're watching Take 30 News. Sports News.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Some people think they don't have to obey the rules. But when it comes to the rules here at Mississippi State, you better take notice. Don't think you're above the law, or they'll find you. Nope. You could find yourself on the outside looking in.
Ring responsibly, MSU.
Whoa! Irresponsible. Trashy. Stop!
Here's your ticket, ma'am.
But I only have $7.95.
Don't whine. Go pay your fine.
Oh, shucks, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Keep Mississippi beautiful. Don't litter.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. Today I'm here with Dylan Davis, who has recently released an EP out on iTunes. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So to get us started, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into music and what brought you to start playing?
Just the church I grew up in and the family I grew up with. Music was just always love, and I was always pointed to really good artists and really good music, and so I've just had a love for it my whole life.
And can you tell me what it actually feels like to only be 20 years old and to already have an EP out on iTunes?
It brings a level of, there's a feeling of success there, but at the same time, it just lets me know that there's so much more growth that could come, and it excites me, and I look forward to what's in the future for sure.
And what gives you your actual passion for playing music?
Just to know that I was created by my Lord and Savior, just His love for me, and knowing that He wired me to love music the way I do, and so I can put all of my heart and soul into it for Him, for sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about what kind of music you play?
It's Christian music, but it's also would be kind of called singer-songwriter because it's real life. It's stuff that I've dealt with personally and wrote about because of it. So.
And how long does it take you to actually write or produce a song?
Writing a song is always different. The process is always different. It just depends on the idea, how long it takes to get that idea to the fruition of actually being a song. Production is pretty much, a song is going to take, with our process, it took 2 to 3 weeks a song. The process is always the same of laying the foundation with, drums and guitars and then mixing all of it. So.
And have you done any performances lately, or will you be?
I've been at 3 churches in the last 3 weeks, and a small house concert and a release party. So it's been kind of busy, but it's been a lot of fun for sure. And coming up, I know I have 2 shows in Kosciuszko, December 19th and 20th, at a Christmas thing there. So
do you think you could play a little something for us?
Yeah, for sure. Just a little while and you will feel no more pain. Just a little while and you will be out of harm's way.
So if someone actually would want to find your music, where would they be able to do so?
We're on iTunes, cdbaby.com, and we have hard copies in a couple of stores in Kosciuszko and here in Starkville. So.
Okay, well that's all the time we have for today. So stay tuned, because coming up next, Kelsey Smith will give you all the details on this year's Trash and Show, coming up on Take 30 News.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Some people think they don't have to obey the rules. But when it comes to the rules here at Mississippi State, you better take notice. Don't think you're above the law, or they'll find you. Nope. You could find yourself on the outside looking in.
Ring responsibly, MSU.
Whoa! Irresponsible. Trashy. Stop!
Here's your ticket, ma'am.
But I only have $7.95.
Don't whine. Go pay your fine.
Oh, shucks, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Keep Mississippi beautiful. Don't litter.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Kelsey Smith with your look at the latest in entertainment. The MTV reality star Diem Brown lost her fight against cancer on Friday. In 2012, Brown was diagnosed with ovarian cancer for the 2nd time, and in August revealed that she had colon cancer. After a 3rd diagnosis, Brown tried to remain positive, although admitted to having trying times. Brown later learned that the cancer found in her colon spread to her liver and lymph nodes. The TV personality reached out for prayers and support on Twitter just 3 days before she passed. Brown was 32 years old. The cast of The Big Bang Theory lost a beloved character from the show last week. Carol Ann Suzy was the voice of Howard's mom, Miss Wolowitz. She passed last Tuesday night after a long battle with an aggressive form of cancer. The show's executive producers stated, quote, "Unseen by viewers, the Miss Wolowitz character became a bit of a mystery throughout the show's 8th season. What was not a mystery, however, was Carol Ann's immense talent and comedic timing, which were on display during each unforgettable appearance. In addition to her talent, Carol Ann was a constant source of joy and kindness to all," end quote. This past weekend, Saturday Night Live was hosted by Hunger Games star Woody Harrelson, but he was not the only special guest. During his opening monologue, he did a spin-off of a Taylor Swift song from her new album, 1989. But when a blonde joined him on stage, the crowd was surprised to see it was Jennifer Lawrence. The Hunger Games cast joined Harrelson on the stage to kick off the show and promote the third installment of the Hunger Games, The Mockingjay Part 1. The actors are expected to be making several of surprise appearances over the next few days before the film comes out on November 21st. The latest estimates from the box office are in, and one sequel to a comedy classic is at the top of the charts. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels' film Dumb and Dumber held down the #1 spot at the weekend box office with $38 million. The total is surprising due to the less than stellar reviews by film critics who shunned the movie for failing to revive the nostalgia and cult status like the 1994 The Original Dumb and Dumber film. Reviews were high in Starkville last Wednesday as some strut in their best trash-inspired designs. The National Organization of Architecture Students held the 6th annual Trashin' Show in Giles Architecture Building. This year's theme was High Trashin'. Every year, the students of NOMAS, along with Interior Design and Fashion Board, come together to create Trashin' Show. Students plan their outfits almost a year in advance and put countless hours into their designs.
It does help. A lot of people think that you won't have enough time to participate in Trashin' Show because of architecture, and both do require a lot of time, but it really helps you with time management and taking time for each event and putting time aside for that and getting them both done on time.
The building was full of guests who crammed onto the Bridge of Giles to admire the unique creations from the students. Estee Lauder, worldwide makeup powerhouse, is now using model and Kim Kardashian half-sister Kendall Jenner with hopes of targeting a younger audience. Estee Lauder brands include Clinique, Bobbi Brown, and Origins. The ultimate Instagirl, 19-year-old Jenner has 30 million followers on Instagram and a fan base that spreads across Twitter and Facebook as well. This year, Jenner appeared on runway in Paris, Milan, and New York. She will appear in digital TV and print advertising campaigns, as well as create social media content for the Estee Lauder in the coming months. If Kendall Jenner is in the market for a home in New York, I know of one available, but it's kind of pricey. Late actress Lauren Bacall's New York City apartment is now for sale for $25 million. Bacall, who passed away in August at the age of 89, bought her Upper West Side apartment in 1961 for $48,000. The Dakota Building, one of the most exclusive in Manhattan, boasts former residents such as John Lennon. Her belongings will soon be auctioned off and are expected to total around $3 million worth. Bacall was the Harper's Bazaar cover girl in 1943. That's a wrap for the latest in entertainment, but stay tuned for your local news.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Some people think they don't have to obey the rules. But when it comes to the rules here at Mississippi State, you better take notice. Don't think you're above the law, or they'll find you. Nope. You could find yourself on the outside looking in.
Ring responsibly, MSU.
Whoa! Irresponsible. Trashy.
Stop!
Here's your ticket, ma'am.
But I only have $7.95.
Don't whine. Go pay your fine.
Oh, shucks, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Keep Mississippi beautiful. Don't litter.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. Biscuit shop owner Michelle Tihan is pleased with seeing familiar faces of her customers, but she has dreams of having famous people walk through her door. Nestled into Jackson Street is a one-bedroom home that Michelle Tihan has converted into Starkville's beloved biscuit shop. Customers walk through the door to a small kitchen and a single register, a place where it is all about the biscuits and the bucket list out of the names on the bucket list wall. Tihan says has the most sentimental value.
Otis Williams is he's the sole living survivor of the group, the Temptations. They still exist, they still play, they still tour, and he was one of the founding members and 60-something years old, and the man is still getting it all the time. And so for me, it's just a personal something that I relate to good moods, good feelings, music in general.
Tihan works daily to stock the empty shelves of biscuits and to check off names off of her biscuit list.
With the holiday season quickly approaching, retail stores are forced to hire a large amount of seasonal workers to meet their customers' needs. Amazon announced that it will be hiring 80,000 employees for the holiday season, and Amazon is not the only corporation that plans to do so. Costco, Walmart, Target, and FedEx are planning to recruit a similar number of people in order to meet the year-end sales. Along with the surplus of hiring comes the surplus of issues. Many employees are pushing for better work conditions and higher salaries. Currently, these issues are being settled in court just in time for the holiday season. However, the court seems to be ruling in the store's favor. Employees are getting an increase in pay, but long, grueling work hours are here to stay.
The upcoming holidays is causing one Mississippi State sorority group to give back to the community. Every Friday, the Aiken Village Preschool receives a few helping hands from the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Whether it's cleaning day beds or putting away toys, service makes a difference.
In the community that we sponsor, and this year we're sponsoring Aiken Village. We're going to try to redo their outside area. We're going to donate paint and paint the fence. And also we're thinking about making the area as a chalkboard area, give the kids a chance to draw, decorate, practice writing their letters in the outside environment.
This community service project will help create a fun and yet educational environment for the kids.
The world is calling one Syrian boy a her after a video went viral of him saving a girl from gunfire. But the Syrian boy says it's never happened. Film director 34-year-old Lars Kleeberg wrote and filmed a viral video after the recent conflict in Syria. When the video didn't reach many viewers on YouTube, Kleeberg added "hero" to the title, causing the film to go viral with over 5 million views. Professional actors and actresses were showcased in the film as Syrian refugees. The video was made in Malta, where well-known movies such as Troy and Gladiator were filmed.
A special event was held on Mississippi State's campus to showcase Japanese heritage. The Japanese Outreach Program held a tea ceremony and kimono-wearing demonstration on the second floor of the Student Union. The program showcased different aspects of Japanese culture, with students from the Japanese Club participating in a unique dance, while a couple of students volunteered to participate in traditional Japanese tea ceremony.
What I saw, I enjoyed. I think it was very peaceful, but it's also just very formal in what they did.
In addition to the kimono demonstration and tea ceremony, those who attended were able to see a special photo exhibit in the art gallery, which featured over 20 images from World Heritage Sites of Japan. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Stay tuned every Monday and Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Take 30 News.